Crafty Kate and I run a small crochet business. On this channel we talk all things yarn and crochet. Welcome to another yarn stash busting video where I choose some patterns based on the yarn that I want to use up. So today again we're going to be trying to use up some Premier Basix Chenille. So I have gone over there already and looked at all my colors and made a little list. So I have 2 free patterns on my list and 2 paid patterns. 3 of them are things I've made before, and one of them is something new that I've had in my pattern stash for a while, so that should be fun to make. I'm going to try to squeeze them all into this video. We will see how it goes. So let's head over to the cabinet and I'll show you what I have left as far as Premier Basix Chenille and what colors I'm planning on using and the patterns I'm going to make with them. Okay, so here is what my cabinet is looking as far as my Premier Basix Chenille. It's a little bit of a rainy day, so kind of dark in here, so sorry about that. But the colors I'm planning on using are this pretty pastel tie-dye. This is Peace and Love, so I want to make a sleeping dragon with this. And then this as the wing color, the accent color. I've never done those together before, but look how well that matches. So pretty. This is the, what is this called? Heather from the Mama Made Minis collab with Premier. So those match really well. Really pretty. And then I never use much orange, so I was trying to come up with something to do with the orange. This is Tangerine, and I have this pretty tie-dye. This one is called Tropic Twist, so that's the color name for that one. But I was thinking about making a turtle, so an orange turtle with this as the shell, so that could be interesting. We'll see how that goes. And then I want to use this to make a long neck dinosaur. A long time ago I made a long neck with kind of a rainbow colored variegated yarn from another company, and it was really cute, so I think this would make a really cute dinosaur. So I'm going to use this one. This one is Technicolor, so that's the plan for that one, just a tie-dye dinosaur. And then I have been having a hard time coming up with stuff to make with these pretty greens. So I have the Madeline Mayco goblin pattern that I've never made. So I think these would make a really cute goblin. So that is what I'm going to do with these. These are Cypress and Zest. So 2 different greens. I'm thinking this color for the main color with the brighter one for the spots and accents. So that's the plan. Okay, so I think I'm going to start with the goblin because that's a pattern I've never made before, so I want to get that one done and out of the way. Like I said, Premier Basix Chenille, I'm going to use a 6mm hook, and we'll see what size eyes I end up using. And then I will have all the patterns listed down in the description if you're interested, and I will also have my affiliate link for Premier if you need to stock up on any of your Premier Basix Chenille, Parfait Plush, Parfait Chunky, any of those fun yarns, the tie-dye. And before I forget, I wanted to let you guys in on a little secret. So Premier actually reached out to me recently. They are coming out with 12 new colors of their tie-dye line, and they sent me 6 of them to try out. So I have a box from Premier with 6 new colors of their tie-dye that I will be making a yarn review video about, and that will come out next week. The yarn releases on the 25th at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, so that's around when my video will release as well. So definitely stay tuned for that because the colors are gorgeous. I haven't started any of the makes yet, but I'm really excited to get into those, and they are so soft. I can't believe how soft. Like, this is soft, but it's even softer than this. So stay tuned for that video, but let's jump into making our little goblin, and I will keep you posted about how it goes. I'm about 20 minutes into making the goblin, and I have the little arms done. I have the ears done, and then I forgot I needed a 3rd color for the horns. So I made the horns. I had a teeny tiny ball of white Basix Chenille left, and I wanted to use it, so I made these. I did end up modifying this pattern a little bit. I did 6 in a magic ring instead of what it says to start with, and then did the rounds from there. So they're a little bit smaller than they're supposed to be, but I used the full ball of white that I had left, so that was a perfect little stash buster. And I will have to use something else to sew these on. I believe this is the only sewing in the pattern is sewing these horns on, so I might use worsted weight for that. But now we're going to start the body. We build up from the legs, so I'm going to do that and then I'll check in. I'm about an hour into making the goblin, and I just ran out of my first skein of the cypress. It was not a full skein, it was a partial skein as you saw at the beginning. So super exciting to have this skein of yarn gone. And here is where we are with the goblin. So we just have a little bit more of the head, and then we'll crochet the ears in, do the face, and then sew the little horns on. So he is almost done, looking very cute with his little bumps there. So I'm going to get his eyes put in and then I will check in. I have the little goblin mostly done. Here he is. I used brown glitter eyes. They're very hard to see in this light. I might have to show you guys tomorrow, hopefully when it's brighter. But there he is. I just need to sew the little horns on and then add a couple of face details, and then he is all done. So far it has been an hour and 15 minutes. Looking very cute. I already embroidered the little nose. It's a little hard to see there, but it just sticks out a little bit. So looking cute so far. Okay, here he is all done. All his fun little details. You just embroider everything on. He's got a little snaggle tooth there. Has little bumps on his head. He is too cute. So total, it took me an hour and a half with all the embroidery detail and everything. So I think making it a second time, you could do it a little bit faster for sure. If you batch made these, it would be really fast. Most of it is no sew except for the horns. So he is a quick little guy, but lots of fun details. So there he is. I think for the rest of the night, I'm going to work on the turtle, the orange turtle, but I probably won't show you until the morning. So I will get going on that, and I will see you tomorrow. Good morning. Here is another quick look at the goblin. I don't know if the light is any better. The sun is definitely here. There he is. So cute. I love the, oh, too much sun. Love the brown eyes. Very cute. Love that pattern. That was the first time making it, and I love it. Very cute. Okay, so as I said, I did work on the turtle a little bit last night. I made all of the fins. This is a free pattern on YouTube from Sophie Tiny, and again, I will have it linked down in the description. And then I just made the head. So this is the shell color. So I picked green eyes to go with it. And then I saved the shell because I have this tiny ball, but then I also have another full skein. I don't think this will quite be enough to make the whole shell. It's a pretty small, squishy ball, so we'll definitely use this up and then probably start this one, but I'll let you know how that goes. So all we have left to do is close up the head, stuff it, make the shell, and then crochet it all together. I'm working on the shell, and I just ran out of the small ball of yarn, so here's where we're at. I have from here to here that I have to tie on the second skein to finish, but it was really close, but we used that ball up, so that was great stash busting. So I'm going to tie this on, finish that up, and then get it all put together. Here is my little orange turtle all finished. This pattern is completely no sew. You just do a little head tacking to the body. Everything else is crocheted in as you go. I usually leave my little fins floppy. I think it's really cute like that. And yeah, just quick and easy. I use 18mm flat back eyes on these because I like the way they kind of bulge out a little bit like a turtle. And a 6mm hook from your Basix Chenille, obviously. And like I said, I used up the small ball, just barely started this one, so great stash busting. And then my orange is getting quite flat. It doesn't use a ton of orange, obviously, but great stash busting. So next, I think I'm going to make the pastel dragon. So I'll grab that and bring it up so we can look at it again, and then I'll get started. Okay, so here are our two colors for the dragon. I'm going to do the body in the tie-dye and then the wings and the accents in this purple. Again, this is the Heather from the Mama Made Minis collab, and then this one is Peace and Love. One of my favorites, the really pastel, pretty colors. This is not a full skein, and I do have a second skein if we need it, which I think we might, and then I won't use a ton of purple, but it's gonna be so cute. Okay, so the dragon pattern that I'm going to be making is the sleeping dragon from Nooks Hooks. I will have that linked down below. And then I just made the wings. So for these dragons, I make the Diddy Dex Snuggler wings from Handmade by Jody instead of the wings from the sleeping dragon pattern, just because I love the way these wings look and I have them memorized. I've made hundreds of Diddy Dexes, so these are my favorite wings. And I love the way they look on this dragon in particular. So I do not make the wings from Nooks Hooks. I have never made the wings from Nooks Hooks, so I'm not sure exactly how those work out. They do have a line of contrasting color around the outside, which I don't usually like to do because it makes so many ends that you have to weave in on a flat piece. So yeah, Diddy Dex wings, I will link that pattern below as well. They are my favorite. So I have those done. We'll still need the purple for the spike down the back, I guess you'd call it. So I'm going to get started on the body. This is a no-sew pattern, so it works up pretty quick, but it is a decent size. So I'm going to be working on this for a little while, and I'll let you know if I run out of this partial skein. Okay, here is where we are. I just embroidered the little sleepy eyes, and I also forgot I needed white for the horns, and because we used up the Premier Basics Chenille white on the goblin, I grabbed my burlap blanket. I've had this little ball for a really long time and I have been trying to use it up. So this is burlap blanket yarn. I think they just call it white. I'm not sure. I don't remember. But so I used that for the horns, and she's looking very cute so far. So now I'm just going to continue down the body, get that all finished up, and then we'll add the fun purple accents. I just love how these colors go together. Purple is my favorite color, as you guys know, and this heather color is gorgeous. All right, see you in a bit. Okay, I am almost done with the body of the dragon, so here is what we have. And I did run out of yarn, so we officially used up that skein of yarn, and I have grabbed my second skein. We are almost done, so we're not going to use a ton of the next skein. And I do think I usually have to add a couple rows. I yarn under, so for some reason this tail usually ends up a little bit too short for sewing it under the head. So I think I add a couple rows. I'll definitely let you know what I do there. But yeah, so that partial skein got us this far. Not bad at all. It definitely pooled a lot in the body section right there. But the wings go right here and will cover most of that. The tail looks really good and mixed in tie-dye, and the head looks great. So just a little personality there. No two are ever the same with this tie-dye yarn. So I am going to tie on my second skein and get this little guy finished up, and then we'll add the wings and the purple stripe. So cute. I finished the little dragon, and I think this might be my favorite one ever. Look at those colors. So cute with the pastel. It's baby safe with the embroidered eyes. It is too sweet. So I did end up adding several rows here. I think I ended up adding 5 total rows to get it to come up under the chin. I don't know if I am stuffing it too much or not pulling it tight enough, but I like that it has the little gap here. I think it's supposed to be like a cell phone holder, so there has to be a gap there. But anyway, so I just add rows here. I decrease one more time down to 6 stitches and then just do a couple rows until it's where I want it. But yeah, so cute, and I love the way the Diddy Dex wings look on it. I do crochet them in. She has a couple different options for attaching them. So the only sewing is tacking the head to the tail, so very quick and easy. And I have this much of the purple left, so it does use a little bit with that stripe going down and the wings. And then, like I said, I finished that first skein of the tie-dye, so great stash buster. And then as far as the rest of the video, my thumb is really starting to bother me, so I don't want to push it. Today is the last day for me to make stuff for this video, so we're not going to get to the little long neck dinosaur with that last tie-dye color, unfortunately. Like I said, I have the new tie-dye yarn from Premier. I have 6 different colors, and for the next video I would really like to make 6 different things for you, so I'm going to save my thumbs and my hands for that video coming up. But hopefully you found it fun and interesting. It was a great stash busting project with using up a skein of this tie-dye. We used up a ball of this tie-dye, and we used up the white from making these horns, and then we also used up a skein of this darker green. So lots of skeins out of the cabinet, which I love, and lots of cute makes to add to my website and have as backstock for someday having a market again. I did want to mention things are going to start getting a little bit crazy. We are about to move, so the room's going to be coming down, and I'm going to do my best to keep making content for you guys and stay on track, but we will just see how it goes. So I hope this was fun for you. Thank you so much for watching. Let's do a dragon emoji down in the comments for making it all the way to the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!